money while these niggas been asleep, dog. I'm so old school and I'm still playing leapfrog. Crawl before you walk, that's really what I'm trying to teach y'all. Y'all niggas and bitches will never learn. If you never have discipline, nigga, you never earn. Stay the fuck away from people who look for the blood to burn. And know that family and friends always gon' fake like they concerned. And y'all don't know what I've been through. Y'all can't tell me what I can and can't do. I walk through the fire with them Jordan 4s. Still in the game and they still rooting for the boy. Grown man balls, real nigga shit. These niggas fake, man, ain't know I'm really rich. Money, no money, and we don't know y'all. We been really in the trenches, we got niggas on the yard. 23 and 1 and never see the sun. They been in so long, they never seen their sons. And it's the type of shit that we go through. Living on faith, man, and trying to be hopeful. A lot of dreams buried in the cemetery. The game they playing out here, y'all know it's very scary. I keep my heart cold like October to February. I'm trying to hit on every number like I'm Jerry. Go large or go home. I'm in the zone like I'm 2-3. And I'm playing with an attitude. Timberwolves, KG. I talk slick, nigga know that I'm nasty. And when it's wartime, know that we ain't trying to be classy.
Right now, the DJ Epps and Friends Show. Weeknights at 10 p.m. with live turntable mixes and interviews. It's time to turn up your smart device and crank it loud.
Hey, yo, check this out. It's your boy Diddy. As we proceed to give you what you need, we are the world famous, the supreme, grand imperial. Hey, yo, Epps, let these motherfuckers know.
Father God, we first want to take this time to say thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for love. Thank you for those who are tuned in to this live at this moment. We pray, Lord, that whoever is tuned in right now, that you bless them. Allow them to have an enjoyable time. Allow them to be able to come on here and not worry about problems and not worry about what is going on, but we know that you are taking care of it. At this moment, at this time, allow people to feel loved and to smile and enjoy. For you said, do not be weary of doing good. So I pray that everybody sows good and reaps good, encouraging one another and looking out for one another. In your holy name we pray. Amen. This is DJ Epps and Friends. Let's go.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, everybody?
DJ Epps.
Shout out to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's not really a happy Tuesday because a lot of things went down this past weekend, but we're just going to get started with everything, man. Welcome to the DJ Epps and Friends Show. Shout out to everybody on my Twitch, everybody on my Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter, and shout out to everybody here on Instagram. Now, today's show is brought to you by Positivity Water. You know what I mean? Shout out to the alkaline water. Always positive on this side. And today we got a special guest, funny man, my guy, my friend. Man, Luis Diaz in the building. What up, Luis?
What's up, bro?
Everything good? How you been?
Man, you know, like you said, a weird weekend, weird, especially today. But man, we're doing all right. We're here. We're here. That's good. I'll take that.
Let's talk about what tragically happened off rip. You know what I mean? You know, I want to, as a comedian, you know, and of course you know who Takeoff is. You know who Migos is. I'm pretty sure you rock to their music and all that.
Everyone.
Yes. What's your thought on what's happening lately with hip hop and certain rappers are getting targeted by sick individuals?
Why are people getting dumber, dude? Like, it's just getting dumb. Like I to make it smaller, because you said as a comedian, like I feel this every time I'm on stage. Like, you motherfuckers can't have a good time. You can't take a joke. You can't. We're here to have fun. If we're playing dice, we're here to have fun. And yeah, man, I'm Cuban. I've been at the domino table, and like shit gets heated. But it's like we're playing a game. We're having fun.
Right.
For me, it's just, man, people lost their sense. People just lose their sense.
It wasn't even like that. Couple years back, when I want to say couple of years back before the pandemic, yeah, there was tragic incidents that happened, but can you say after the pandemic yeah, people really, really got dumb out there,
Yeah, man.
hungry.
Motherfuckers been at home playing Call of Duty. They forgot that a real gun actually goes blah. Like, it's stupid. It's how dumb did we get being at home for 2 years? I read. Why don't we read books? Everyone's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna use this time to read a book. I'm gonna really like explore the world." Like, motherfucker, no, you didn't. You watched Netflix like the rest of us.
Right, 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 right. Everybody, if you just tuned in, man, this is Luis Diaz, man, one of my friends. Very, very, very funny guy, comedian. Listen, Luis, when I met you, I don't know if it was just the starting point of your career, but from the time that I met you till now, I have to say, man, I'm very proud of your success, and I love what you've been doing. I love how you utilize your social media to the max. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You and other comedians like Mr. Red, funny guys, man. You guys take that shit to the max. And in the Latin world, I don't see too much comedians. I know they're out there, but I don't see too much comedians take it as far as you guys do. When I say take it far, like I said, utilizing the social media, being funny, you know what I mean, and just making the world happy, healing the world. I want to say.
Yeah, man, if you're talking about when you first met me, it's got to come as a surprise that I'm like doing what I'm doing now, huh? Because I was just a little fucking kid doing part-time work, doing whatever I could to get a paycheck, and yeah, man. Now everything I learned, like I got really tight with Red, doing the shows at the Improv, man. Like the club was like, hey, you're doing these one-man shows. Usually people have an opener, so that way it's easy for it. And the club put me and him together. And we just got together, like we vibed real quick. I've known his manager from forever, and he taught me the Instagram game, and he taught me like what works, what doesn't, finding out what works, finding out and just like all the shit he did wrong, he told me, and I've been able to use it, and that's the thing, like we come from the radio world. Everyone and their mother a few years ago wanted to be in radio, and you could tell them, man, do this, do this, do this, and then like you realize you tell everyone, you give everyone the blueprint, and no one's gonna fucking do it. So when I started telling people, I'll give you step one. If you do step one, I'll tell you step two, and so that's how I've always been. And so when Red was giving me the blueprint, I just made sure I followed it. And yeah, man, when it comes to Hispanics, there's me, him in Miami. What a couple handful more people outside of Miami. Who is it? LaJuan James, and that's it. Like, yeah, on social, there's not many of us, not many of us at all, and that's why I feel like it's helped us blow up, because when you can capture that Hispanic Latino voice, man, like because there's no one doing it right, it just helps you explode even faster. Because
yeah, and I must say, sometimes I wake up in the morning and you, Red, and some other people, y'all kind of like one of the first ones that's on my timeline, and y'all just wake me up with a smile and make me laugh. You know what I mean? And you kind of remind me of me. Like I utilize this platform, I utilize this Instagram, and I'm about the only DJ that really does this here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Actually built a mix show on Instagram. You don't got to listen to the radio station no more. You put on the live right here with Epps. We're interviewing, we're playing new music, or he's on them turntables mixing, and so on. What do you remember your first improv job?
So my first gig was cool. My first time on stage was cause I live way out in Kendall, and there's a place now called Duffy's.
Kendall!
Yeah, man. We got a Duffy's right next to the Kendall Regal Theater. Before that, it was called something, and then before that, it was something, and then before that, it was Home Field, like bar and comedy club, and it was like run through the Improv. And my first set up there, I crushed, bro. I crushed. I was like I killed it. I was like, man, I was made. I'm the next. I'm next. Call Netflix before I even do my second show. And then I did my second show, and it went so bad. It went like I brought 20 people. And there's the rest of the crowd with other people. Like I brought 20 people. My people weren't even laughing. They're like, we came for the next guy. That's not our fun. That's ugh.
that opening spot is really tough. Like, you gotta
Bro.
set the tone.
No, it's rough, and like you even when you think about the different shows of the weekend, because there's always like 2 shows on a Friday, 2 shows on a Saturday, and then either one on a Thursday, one on a Sunday.
Right.
And that second show Friday is the latest one of the weekend. It always, without fail, no matter what it says on the Improv website or Comedy Club website, it's going to start around 11:15, maybe 11:30 if people are running really late.
Right.
That means people have been drinking. People worked all Friday. Then they started drinking, getting ready for the show, and then the show started running late, so they started having more drinks. Bro, you do that Friday late show, and I'll stand up there with a timer, and I don't even care if you're laughing or not. I'm gonna do what my job tells me to do, and boom, I did my time. All right, bye. I don't want to be here. I'm fucking dead. It's the worst, and that's now.
Yeah. Big shout to the Improv, first of all, man, because I had a pleasure of rocking that stage a couple of times with Marlon Wayans, Finesse Mitchell, and who else? A lot of guys, DL Hughley and stuff like that, man. I always love going to the Improv, and they show me so much love. So big shout to them. And it's great that they open one in Dania now, too, from my understanding.
Bro, that's the best. I love that club. Miami's my home club. I love Miami. But that Dania Improv is like beautiful, at least for the performer. And the venue for if you're watching a show is great too. It's beautiful, no bad seat. But for a performer, it's like it is. The green rooms. The reason I say that is because the green room is like twice as big as the one in Miami, and they got like TVs that you can watch the stage and watch a football game, and the crowds in Dania are just, I don't know, they're different than the Miami crowds. And for me,
I tell you straight up, like Miami Doral, a lot of Latinos, and they all beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the Dania, there's a lot of Latinos too. But the Black Americans are in there, and they just mix it up. And when I see certain people say a funny joke about a certain ethnic, the whole room erupts. Like it's all love. You know what I mean?
The Miami, in the Doral Improv, these are all the rich Venezuelans and all the rich people that can afford to go out to Doral. And so they just got Botox done. They can't afford to laugh. It's going to ruin their surgery. In Dania, you got the motherfuckers that really can't afford Botox. So they're just ready to laugh. And I think that's why I like it.
As a Cuban American, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little Puerto Rican, but I don't talk about that.
Do you have does your joke recently come off real extra? How can I say it? You know what I mean?
Cuban?
Yeah. Okay. For example, like I saw one of your skits, and I thought it was so funny. It was about the cafecito, the coladas.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And every morning, as a Haitian American, I get up and go get a colada. You know what I mean?
That makes me so happy. We did it, guys. We did it. We did it.
Nigga, we made it down here. So let's talk about the colada. Let's talk about how you properly make a colada. Because me and my wife, we was talking about, she was telling my partner, he don't be liking my coffee. And no, baby, I love your coffee, but it's just, you don't have the little silver thing. You don't have the certain type of spoon. You know what I mean? I learned it myself. You got to drop a little coffee in that sugar. You got to, you know what I mean?
Ready? All right. Welcome to class, because you got the master. You didn't know that.
Everybody share your live. Everybody share your live. Please share your live. You're about to get it right now.
You're welcome. I'm just gonna say you're welcome before I even say it, because this is gold. I'm telling you. All right, so you want to get the cafetera, which is I don't even know how to say it in English. The thing you make the coffee in. If you don't know how to work that, fill that up. You put the water up to the little thing. You put the coffee into the brim. You pat it. I read the directions. It says don't pat it. You fucking pat it. You fill it up. You close it. And then you get, if you can't use the one that the mixing thing that it comes with, get like a measuring cup, like a small measuring cup. Get the small spoon. Get 3 scoops of sugar, and then for me, because I'm fat, I get 3 scoops and a love scoop, because I love myself and I love my sugar a little extra bit. When that first bit of cafe comes out of the cafetera, comes out, you know, like the shit that we make babies from, the premature jack shit, like that premature. You fill up that 1 spoon you use, 1 spoonful, You put that in, and that you fucking look at the flick of the wrist. I swear to God, a Cuban wrote that song. I swear to fucking God. And then slowly pour the rest, and you slowly stir as you pour. And I'm telling you, brother, La Carreta can't get shit on that. I don't even.
And you gotta have that foam on the top. You gotta have the foam on the top.
If you followed my directions, the foam will come. The foam is there. I promise. I don't lead my people in the wrong way. You're welcome again. I can't.
Who came up with the terminology liquid cocaine?
A genius? A certified. Why do you think cocaine is so big in Miami? Because we have the Cuban coffee. It's like we need something stronger, like cocaine.
Oh man, everybody, if you just chimed in, this is my guy Luis Diaz, man, funny guy, comedian. You can catch him almost everywhere, especially the Improv down in Doral. That's his residency. That's his home. Luis, how do you prepare for your shows, man? Like, you don't. Do you look out the curtains to be like, oh man, it's gonna be a tough one?
Man, I look out the curtains because I'm a little, I want to know, but I don't think it's gonna be a tough one until like that first guy goes on stage, unless I'm the first guy, in which case I gotta go with it. Mm-hmm. But man, so I have my sets, right? The shit that I work on, the shit that I write, because I'm a big into writing. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure that all the stories I say on stage are always true. Mm-hmm. But the reason I write them down is so I can see what do I need in the story, what can I make funny, or what do I not need, and whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I prepare by making sure, like, I know what I'll write down my set, I'll know what I'm going to do. And then I'll get on stage and I'll hit them with my first joke. My first joke is always something local. That way everyone can kind of get on board. Then my second joke is like, let's see if we can find the line. If we say this joke and we cross the line, I know I'm gonna go here. If we don't cross the line, then motherfucker, okay, we can go here. And if all that shit doesn't work, man, I just go. I go into my greatest hits. I got my greatest hits in my back pocket. I'm the greatest hits because ain't no way I'm getting off stage like that second time I walked on stage. Like, no, I'm gonna get someone to laugh in here. And,
right.
Bro, and if I'm the second guy on the show, or just if I'm not first, and someone on stage, the first guy, the host, or whoever goes before me is just bombing, I get nervous in the back. I'm like, yo, does this guy suck or is it the crowd? And then I'll get on stage and I'll kill him and be like, it was that guy. The crowd is great. I fucking great. That guy sucked.
Yeah. Man, what's that? You was in Disney this past weekend?
Yeah, I was. Who is that?
Somebody said he met you. Look at that.
Oh, that might be hey, Keith, are you the dude that met me at the line in It's a Small World? Bro, I met this dude in the line of It's a Small World. I don't know if it's him or not. But some dude came up to me because I always wear like a Columbia shirt because I'm fat and it's the only thing that I like to wear. And this dude comes up to me and he shows me like this picture of like, those Spirit Halloween memes? One of them was just like the Florida man. And it was, look at him, Ocala man. And it was a fat guy wearing a baseball cap, wearing the exact shirt I was wearing. And I had the exact same baseball. And he had the beard. And I was like, I am white as fuck. I'm not even Cuban anymore. I'm not Cuban. I'm white now. I'm American. And this was great. And then my parents, because I was there with the whole family for my daughter's birthday. And my parents were doing that Cuban parent shit. Like, did you follow him on Instagram? Oh, you had no follow him? Pull out your phone right now. Pull out your phone. I'm going to type it in for you.
Your number one promoter.
And I'm like, yo, guys, I appreciate it. I don't need that. Come
on. Okay. So, can there be? I don't want to say can there be. Okay. For example, T.I., once upon a time he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna give this comedy shit a try."
Did you see his show in Miami?
No, I didn't. Talk to me. Walk me through the crowd. What happened?
I didn't go, but I did have very trustworthy sources. And T.I. doing comedy is apparently, and he might. I know you rolled a bunch of eye rollers. This might get back to him. If you need an opener, I'm here. It's exactly what we all thought it would be, and it's not good from what I heard.
God Damn, man.
But you know what's
And
funny? I was talking with a buddy of mine about T.I. specifically, that he wants to get into stand-up. He has the best opportunity at his lap because he's going to sell out wherever he goes because everyone wants to know what T.I. doing stand-up does. And if he's up there for 10, 15 minutes bombing, send the DJ your instrumentals and just do the other 45 minutes as a clip. And just like, and no one's going to be mad. Everyone's
you're
gonna be
right.
happy.
You're absolutely right. Was it was it like a big concert, or was it like an improv?
Bro, he was at the Improv, 300 seater, 400 seats,
Damn,
400 people at a show.
man.
It was, and ooh,
Wow.
but
That's like yeah, big up. I got the Pinga shirt on. Yeah, I mean, I'm representing you guys. I see ya. You know what I mean? That's like J Balvin all of a sudden that wants to get on stage and start crying. You know what I mean?
Faruko wants to become a pastor now. Like, guys, I'm all for doing
stay in your lane.
but because like you tell some people stay in your lane, it's like, no, I can be whatever I want to be, and it's like, okay, fine, but like also you suck at the other shit. That's why we gave you this lane. You're doing so good, bro. It's like my daughter. Like if she started doing karate, and she's so fucking good at karate, bro.
Yeah.
And then she started dancing, and it was like didn't come as easy. Let's just say it didn't come as easy. And we're just like, okay, just stay in karate. Like you didn't stay. We found what you're good at. Ain't no need. Started doing soccer. Didn't come as easy. Just stay in karate. Like, stay in your lane. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I'm gonna tell you what you're better at. Like, just do your thing.
What's one of your best shows, man? Like who you know, besides yourself rocking, like who else? I know you've been on stage with many legendary comedians. What was one of your best shows that you could remember that really, like, you know?
Well, Mr. Red's shows are just different. And I know he's not a legend of the stand-up game.
I had the opportunity to go over there. Did I DJ that one? I think I probably DJ'd that one. Yeah, it was a Latin promoter. He booked me. Last was the day before, and that was on Friday. I think Casey Chop was on Saturday. Something like that.
I think that was the Only in Dade show.
Only in Dade show. There it goes. Okay, so I got to see you do your shit, and that's when I looked at you. I was like, damn, man, this guy's just getting better and better, man. I'm happy for you. You know what I mean? And then I get to see Mr. Red, and I seen Red all over the Instagram, and I thought he's a funny fucking guy. But when I first got there, I was like, oh shit, it's this Red that's performing, and he is so smooth with his shit, and he's so I don't want to say calm. Ulysses, what up, man? I see you, homie. We're going to have Ulysses on the show, creator, producer, next week, man. Shout out to my man Ulysses. Also, shout to Boaz from Queen of the South. He's in here, too. I see you, Boaz. JT Campos. Got some celebrities in here. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, and I get to see Red, and he does, every comedian has their style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, you're that loud Cuban, Puerto Rican that,
come on, man,
you know
chill,
what I mean?
chill.
That keep that shit real and let everybody know what it is, you know what I mean? But his shit was just so smooth and funny as
Bro,
fuck.
that was the Only in Dade show when he did the 8 straight shows. I think it was in the summer, sometime in the summer this year. Bro, his shows were just different, and I was really happy about this last one because we really dove into his writing. And bro, his stand up is fucking up there now. Like people are coming out to see his shows, and it's not that dude from Instagram. It's not T.I. not getting out of his lane. No, this guy's a fucking stand up comic.
Yeah,
and that's something fucking amazing. But like that's Red, and that's my boy. Let me give you another answer. I did a show with he's Bert Kreischer. I don't know if you know him.
I heard the name.
He's got a few Netflix specials. He's the one that takes off his shirt in the beginning of his shows and special, and he has the show about he has this bit about joining the Russian mafia by accident. And I saw him right before he blew up. He put me on a show. I was just doing like a little guest set, and this dude was like, I'm telling you, like he said that was his last weekend because him and I still talk. That was his last weekend of not consistently selling out. and that man's show was insane. Bert Kreischer, he's famous as fuck now. Got the 3 Netflix specials. He's doing his thing. Like, he's big time. But Bert Kreischer was one of those, and he put me on to how to write and be true to yourself, and like tell your family stories, tell your stories. Because he, to me, and a lot of comics will tell you out there, the best storyteller in comedy is Bert Kreischer. And the way he tells his stories, man, that was a masterclass watching it. And that's how I try to, emulate. That's what I do. Because I love one-liners. People like, like, I love that shit. But that's not what I'm good at. I like telling my stories, because no matter what or who's watching, like whatever, like we all, have something in our heads, some story that we can kind of relate to it. And so when I talk about having kids, even if you don't have kids, man, you were a kid. Like know you have friends. You're and to me that's Bert Kreischer, to answer your question.
They said the set is hilarious, the machine.
Yeah.
So yeah, big up to Mobbed Up Clothing. Obviously he's seen the show. You have one quick last question. You have any interest of doing TV shows, any sitcoms?
I got into stand-up because I was an actor. And I was in college, and I just got tired of waiting for the next audition. I was like, and I told my girl, who's my wife now, and I was just tired. I was like, man, I'm tired of fucking waiting to get on stage. I want to be on stage. And I was a musical theater, so I would sing and do all that fucking shit. And dude, I was good. Relax. I was when you're good, you're good. And,
right.
And I was doing my thing, and I hated waiting. And one day I was watching, and I'm texting her, and I'm watching Comedy Central, and it just fucking clicks. Like, oh shit, that's a stage. And I had done stand-up in high school for the talent show. I did stand-up in middle school and elementary school for my talent show. Like, what the fuck is why did I forget that was a stage?
Yes.
And that's when on my 22nd birthday, I did my first show at Home Field, the one that did good. And then 2 weeks after, I did the one that wasn't very good. And that's how it was, man. So yeah, so acting is my first passion. Acting is what got me into this game. I would love to do what Kevin James did, be the fat funny guy on TV for a little bit, take some time and just fucking, I love that.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. Louis, man, before you go, you're going to be anywhere soon so people could come visit you and see your show anywhere?
This Sunday, this Thursday, I got a show somewhere in Fort Lauderdale. I'll post it on my store. I don't know where it is. I just got the address. And then this Sunday, I'm at the Miami Improv. November 6th, Miami Improv. It's with Have Nots Comedy. That's where I'll be this Sunday.
Is Marlon Wayans coming soon to the one in Doral soon? Is he coming there?
I feel like if he wasn't just here, he's coming down soon.
Nah,
but he wasn't just here.
I think, I got my girl, my wife, and her girls talking about he's coming in Fort Lauderdale. So I was just seeing if he's gonna make his route to the route too.
Maybe no.
Yeah.
The ones that these dudes are doing Fort Lauderdale try and help because the club is still pretty young, so they're putting a bunch of the biggest comics they have in Dania, just to really kickstart the club and get people out there realize that they got dope ass comedy in Fort Lauderdale now. It might be in Dania.
Got you. Luis Diaz, I appreciate you, my brother, for coming on the show. You know what I mean? Continue living, continue having a great success. That drive you have, man, just keep it up, man. And
thank you, bro.
Make people laugh, heal the world, and thank you for being a friend. I appreciate you, my brother.
Hey man, I'm getting better. I'm just trying to get to the point where it's cool that I'm your friend. Like when we first met, you can't really brag about Louis, but now, man, I'm trying. I'm trying to be someone you can brag about, bro. I'm really trying.
No doubt, man. Everybody, please follow my guy at that Louis Diaz guy, man. Please follow him and visit him at the Improv in Doral in Miami, Florida, man. Trust me, you're gonna have a great time. Louis, thank you for hanging out with us again, man. I appreciate you, my brother. And tell Red, we still waiting for him because I know he wanted to come on the show too. Tell him we're waiting for him.
Oh fuck, man! You got me before him. I'm more important than him. That's cool. That's it. I'm more important than Red.
Well,
That's it.
actually,
No. You didn't. I
no.
said
I'm
if
gonna
you
be
didn't.
honest with you. I don't. I'm not gonna say he curved me, but I guess he put me on pause. He's letting me know when. So I was like, you know what? Let me call Lewis.
Hey, I got. Oh fuck, man! You went to the JV first. You pulled me up from the minors. Like, oh man, fuck. Hey, Red, don't come on this show.
Oh man, I appreciate you, my brother, man. Yo,
I'll see you
get
soon,
home.
bro.
No, I'll see you soon. Thank you, man. I appreciate you,
Got it,
Lewis.
bro. Love
Word.
you, man. Peace out, bro. Motherfucker.
Lewis Diaz in the building, man. Right here on the DJ Epps and Friends show. Yes, man. Tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. And please, please, please share the live because my man AV is about to step up in the building. And AV gave me a little bad news. It's not bad news at all. But, you know, we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about some other stuff. So Tuesday, everybody share the live. AV Alpha Villains about to step in the building. You know what it is, live and direct for you and yours. Please, everybody, get your alkaline water, positivity water. You need that in your life, all right, man? Show is sponsored to you by that. Shout to Luis Diaz, great guy, man, funny guy. CP Promotion in the building, CLK family in the building. Yo, Keith Henderson, I see you. I appreciate you, Keith. What happened? I'm accepting you. Why it's not going through? AV, you good? Lil Tostone. What's up, homie? Shout out to my man DJ Memo in the building. Casper was popping. Medina was good. Mobbed Up Clothing, of course, in the building. Christy, I see you, Christy. Must not have no good Wi-Fi at the minute. What's up, baby? What's up? Let me invite. Hopefully he sees it. Hopefully he sees it. There he goes. Oh, what? Yeah, something's up on his side. Ulysses is gonna be on my show next week, man. Yes, funny guy. Creator producer, one of the hottest creators producer out. You know what I mean? He worked with a bunch of, you know, artists, including 50 Cent. He's gonna be on the show next Tuesday at 10 o'clock, live and direct, right here on the DJ Epps and Friends show. So don't miss out on that. All right, man. Yeah, something's up on AV side. Why he's not? AV, I think yo. Oh, there we go.
Here I go. What's good? What's good?
What's good, King? How you?
How you? I'm chilling. What's good?
Everything good, man. Everything's peace. Everything's great. You know what I mean? Besides all the tragic stuff that happened yesterday, which we're about to get into. You know, before we do, man, AV, go ahead and let them know about your YouTube show, man, because you know this show is getting bigger and bigger, and we're gonna talk about, you know, graduating you in a minute, man.
I appreciate you. Shout out to Team Epps, man. I go by the name of AV, aka Mr. Weekday Mornings, man. Make sure y'all check out my YouTube channel, Alpha Villains. Mm-hmm. I got a morning show called Finish Your Breakfast with AV. We talk about a lot of different things, male perspective, female perspective. Everybody gets to smoke. We talk about trending topics. And at the end of the day, my job and my goal is really just to remind men that it's okay to be a man. You ain't got to disrespect women to be a man. You ain't got to have a nice car, make a lot of money to be a man. You just got to have your mind right. And that's the goal. So make sure y'all check me out on YouTube, Alpha Villains. And I appreciate you for having me on, my nigga. What's good with you?
Everything's good, man. Once again, hip hop took another blow, and this was I want to say an uppercut. You know what I mean? It was you know, once I woke up this morning and looked at my Instagram, and it was all over my timeline, and for me to look at my timeline and my mouth just dropped. Like, I was like, out of all people, you took Takeoff from the Migos, from hip hop.
Hey, yeah, you know what's crazy too, man. Our condolences to their families, obviously.
Yes,
but you know what's crazy? What's crazy about the whole situation? You know, there's a lot of footage being circulating now about
disrespectful footage that's being posted.
Listen, man, it's media. I mean, you know that better than anyone. Unfortunately, it's gloves off, man. When you decide to come on the mic, you decide you're a target. I'm a target. You're a target. Unfortunately, there's no code to the streets, but there's footage floating around. And unfortunately, Takeoff wasn't even in the altercation, my nigga. I think he was playing dice or he was a spectator, but Quavo, I believe, was arguing. There's some audio of Quavo arguing with somebody else. Next thing you know, you see the camera kind of shift and you hear gunshots, pop, 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 pop. And I think Takeoff, unfortunately, was a casualty of a stray bullet from an altercation or some type of argument that I believe Quavo may have been having. So aside from losing a band member, aside from losing a member, you know what I mean, his brother and shit, can you imagine fighting with somebody, you starting the shit or you trying to remedy the shit and your mans and them gets caught with a stray bullet because of the shit that you started or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a tragic situation. And a lot of people are saying, you know, in the hood, you know, as black men and people in this community, hip hop community and shit like that, we have an image to portray. And a lot of people were saying, damn, yo, why were you playing dice at this level of the game? Why were you doing things? And it's unfortunate that people are making, they're saying they're disappointed in the choices that he made. But it's unfortunate in itself that you can't even play dice. You can't even do shit that you grew up on without being worried that you're going to get killed and shit like that. So I've been in heated situations and shit. I'm sure you have been too. You witnessed it. There's no excuse, man. I know my man, Mr. 1950 said, when was the last time you heard R.I.P. to a rock star singer? When was the last time you heard R.I.P. to a country singer? Our communities, man, Hispanic and brown and melanated people, man, even though the music is lit and we talk about the shit that people see in the streets, man, we got to do a better job, bro, because at the end of the day, my nigga, now for some nonsense and shit, we lost a good rapper. Somebody lost a son, a father, a brother. For what, bro? For what?
Man, yeah, I was reading stories here and putting pieces together, and it did seem like, you know, I'm not too sure how true it is that Quavo lost about 7 bands, but, you know, I think from my understanding that, you know, some words was going back and forth, and yes, just the way you saw it with the camera shifting, it looked like somebody threw a punch, and it just kind of got a little wild.
Escalated from there.
Yeah, and gunshots caught fire, and you know, we don't know if Takeoff was in the middle of the crossfire, or maybe he jumped in front of the bullet, or you know what I mean. And this is Quavo's nephew, correct? This is Quavo's nephew.
I believe it's either Quavo or Offset's nephew. So that's another.
Quavo's nephew.
Yeah, so they're related. So aside from that, so that's what I'm talking about. Like
this has to be eating him up alive right now. He must be in his shell, like, you know.
I mean, there's so many different levels, man. And you know, I wouldn't say I'm ashamed to say it, but you know, when they started saying how disrespectful the personal footage was circulating and shit, I kind of felt bad for looking at it, but I did look at it. Now, when I did see the footage, I didn't know what I was looking at, so I did open it, right? It's kind of like you're an accident on the highway, you stop and look to see what happened, but for all these influencers and media takeout people to capitalize on some personal shit like that when it's so fucking soon, I guess I understand how disrespectful and insensitive that shit was, man. But a 28-year-old man tragically losing his life, blood everywhere. Yo.
Dude, one of the pictures was very disturbing, that you actually see him laid out on the floor, like.
Yeah.
Like,
see him laid out with shit, blood everywhere, yeah.
And big up to Gilly the Kid for lashing out for everybody that feels the same way. Like, why the fuck you only taking out your cameras and filming shit just to go run and go get likes? How come you ain't call the police? You ain't help. You ain't, you know what I mean? Everybody that pulled out the cameras, y'all all pieces of shit. I'm straight up and down. That's some piece of shit stuff right there. Like,
I agree. You know, it's the world we live in, man. It's the world we live in. And, you know, we always talk about this, you and I, Epps, man. We always talk about how we got to encourage our people to be safe. You know what I mean? Whether it's with vaccines or whether it's just driving safe, road rage and shit. We always touch on a number of topics, but we got to be safe out there, man, because like I said, you never really know what somebody's going through. You never know what somebody's going through. You don't know what somebody is capable of doing. And you might catch me on a bad day. You might catch somebody on a bad day, and that person blacks out and he does some dumb shit, and there's something you can't take back, or there's some consequences associated with that anger. So everybody, a lot of people are suffering, inflation, gas, all this shit. Niggas ain't getting laid. Niggas are mad at women and all that shit. So there's a lot of angry people out there. And, I try to mind my business. I try to keep my shit, I try to keep my head down. But at the end of the day, man, you never really know when somebody's going to do something that they may be remorseful for, but then it's too late. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
This weekend and past week, I've been in a zone where people are preaching to me, teaching me how to forgive.
You've been working on that for a long time, Epps. I know you personally,
yeah, man, cause you gotta understand, man. You gotta understand.
I understand. Trust me.
Along with E. Felix, I am DJ Epps, the one that keeps his face clean, that shows mad love to everybody, that doesn't have no problem with nobody. My face is so clean. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So,
yeah.
So when something or somebody attacks me, especially intentionally, I look at it as you're evil. I look at, keep your energy away from me. So when you do something so vicious, maliciously, and so on, it's really hard for me to forgive. You remember watching? Did you end up watching the whole entire Jeffrey Dahmer?
The which one?
Episodes.
Which one?
I think Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I think it was the very last episode when the lady was in the church and she was telling the pastor it's hard to it's really, really hard to, oh man.
I know where you're going. I'm gonna, while you're gathering your thoughts, man, this is an important topic to talk about in regards to forgiveness. I remember an ex of mine told me, and she made a really good point. She said, sometimes you got to forgive people for yourself, not for the other person, right? Yeah. So and you and I have talked about this behind the scenes in regards to forgiveness and shit like that. And, I've kind of let go of all my resentment towards the people, whether it was family members, whether it was friends, whether it was exes. Part of forgiveness is really holding yourself accountable for a couple of things. You want to hold yourself accountable for allowing yourself to trust the person to fuck you over. That's number one. Number two, I held myself accountable to a lot of things that I may have fucked up, a lot of situations that I may have contributed to fucking up, but I'm mad at the woman for being tired of my shit, but I'm not holding myself accountable. And number three, I realized when I held that resentment in, man, it made me a different person that people didn't really want to be around. And I didn't necessarily like the person I was becoming. So when I finally started forgiving people, first of all, forgiving myself, but when I started forgiving people, not for them to resume back a relationship, but more so just to kind of cleanse my soul, bro, it really helped me out. So don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Like I got a memory like an elephant. I never forget, but I always try to make sure that I don't carry any resentment or any negativity. If I got negativity or resentment, I try to shit it out right away so I could go about my business, man. That's something we got to work on every day, my nigga.
Yeah, you're definitely right, and to this day I'm still working on it.
Every day.
But how do you forgive the person that did what they did to take off? How does anybody forgive that? How does anybody do that? Forgive what they did to Pop Smoke, PNB Rock, you know what I mean? Young Dolph.
Yeah. Fortunately, I haven't been in a situation where I have to answer that question. And I would assume for the grieving families, man, there's something that you can never forgive. But like I said, time heals, right? Time reveals, time heals. And just like any breakup, any type of loss, over time, it gets better every day. Sometimes, like I said, man, it's all about a mindset. And like I said, it's easy for us to say because all of our loved ones are still here, still intact, thankfully. But I think as a teachable moment for people who haven't gone through situations like that kind of hold resentment, like I said, man, you don't forgive people. You forgive people for yourself, not for them. And sometimes, bro, when I went to therapy, bro, my therapist told me, bro, you got to forgive yourself, bro. And once I started to forgive myself, bro, first, it started to become easier to forgive other people. And I felt better. You know what I'm saying?
Segue with forgiving. Do you think the world, we know George Floyd family's not trying to forgive Kanye, but Kanye is now looking at another leaf and he's trying to fix everything he did. You know what I mean? Do you think that the world's going to forgive him? Do you think they care? Do you think is it too late? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm always going to be here because I'm 48 years old, man. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm still paying for some of them, and I'm still just trying to move on with my life. But what I will say is that everybody's human, right? Now, Kanye West may have had an opinion about certain things, some ignorant opinions about a certain thing, but he never went up on stage and slapped another man for making a joke about his wife. Will Smith is back on movies. He's about to do Bad Boy 3 and all this shit. So what I'm saying is you can't please everyone. And being in the media as long as you've been, Epps, you know that some things you're going to do aren't going to hit for everything, but some things you're going to do because it makes you feel good. I think everybody makes mistakes, and I think everybody deserves redemption. It's really up to the people who really rock with him to see if they want to give him that forgiveness. But like I said, bro, if you make mistakes, and we're going to continue to make mistakes, as long as I can forgive myself first, that's the only time I can expect other people to forgive me. As a whole, in this industry, from what I know, being green to it, this industry is meant to bring you up and remind you that we can bring you down at any time. And once they humble your ass, it's up to them to see whether they're not going to bring you back up or not. So for me, I try not to be a slave to the narrative, the slave to the algorithm and shit like that. I try to do things that make me feel good because I try to do shit one way, I try to do shit the other way, and I wind up not getting the results that I wanted. You know what I mean? So whether we forgive them or not remains to be seen, but I do know as an adult, when you make mistakes, man, you got to learn from those goddamn mistakes. You can't say one dumb thing, go on all the media outlets and say sorry, and then the next day you're going to say something dumb again. Like, no, my nigga, you're an adult. You're not a child. So mistakes happen one thing, but if you keep making the same mistake, now it's a choice. It's not a mistake.
Like 50 said, you hot. Go cool off. You know what I
mean? Yeah, you hot. Yeah, the block is hot right now, my nigga. You need to slow down, nigga.
Yeah. Wasn't it crazy the minute we was talking about him last Tuesday, exactly around this time, the minute we hung up the live, every minute, every hour, every day, the nigga was losing something piece by piece, man. You know what I mean? All the labels, his agencies, Adidas, and so on, man, was just dropping like flies.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary to think that, Epps, because, he was a billionaire. I think he lost $2 billion in one day. And when you look at us sitting on this side of the fence, this side of the street with not even a fraction of that wealth, right? Not even a fraction of the notoriety. What can they do to us, Epps? Like, if I say something on Instagram, on YouTube and shit, they're going to demonetize my shit. They're going to give me a copyright strike just for doing something that I think is funny that may not be perceived. So I guess what everybody's saying is, and I got a T-shirt that says this, alphavillains.com, the truth is always going to be censored. The truth will always be censored. And I think as opposed to trying to speak the truth, you just going to have to be the truth. You know what I mean? That's why I try to be the truth and be the proof. You know what I'm saying? I try to be consistent in when I am on the mic and off the mic. You know me off the mic and shit. I'm just as animated, just as annoying off the mic too and shit. But at the end of the day, I am who I am because I tried to be something that I wasn't, man, and it didn't sit right with me. And even though I'm not where I want to be, it feels good to at least say, you know what, man, when I go to bed at night, my nigga, I'm going to bed like myself. I ain't going to bed like the way somebody else wants me to be. So they just reminding you, man, they could take it from you, man. So, but they can't take this. If you got your mind right, they can't take that from you. You know what I mean?
I think what's gonna happen to Kanye if he, just like you said, keep your mind right.
Yeah, right.
And you continue, because at first it looked like you was playing chess.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
in a way, I think me and you both, we was kind of rooting for him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you mentioned some things. You
I
mentioned
did, right.
you mentioned, and he mentioned some accurate things, and he did some things that was probably gonna help him be independent and so on, and this and that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A theory.
But I think the George Floyd really, really, kind of really fucked things up big time. That it just, it really took a chunk out of his life. Now,
Yeah.
once upon a time, this very thing happened to Dave Chappelle.
Boom. Right.
Dave Chappelle
Let's go.
happened to stay quiet for a while and got his mind right, and
Right.
came back and gave a piece of his mind respectfully, and also kept it 100, where you're gonna have to be like, yeah, you're kind of right, Dave.
right.
You're kind of right, Dave. We ain't mean to try to cancel you like that. You know what I mean? And guess what? And this man is back on top of the world. I feel like Kanye can do the same thing. Do you?
Absolutely. And like you said, man, see, part of being a man and part of being an adult, rather, let's not even marginalize it to man. Part of being an adult is knowing when to say when. I had a DUI in the past and shit because I ain't know when to say when. I ain't know when it was my last call. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was invincible. Boom, got a DUI. I've got into situations, I got locked up and shit because I ain't know when to walk away. This is when they say that smart people learn from their mistakes. They say wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So if Kanye and history taught us anything, my nigga, and Kanye being in the goddamn limelight, having friends like Jay-Z and Elon Musk and all this shit, they're supposed to be telling him to sit his ass down. I truly believe they're using Kanye, if they are indeed using him as a pawn or as an example. They want to make an example of him. So anybody beneath Kanye West, you can't say how you feel. All right. So if I say I don't like Haitians, I don't like Jamaicans, I don't like anything, I have the potentiality for somebody, whoever's in the control board, to take away my things. But that's not how we get change done. See, people want to talk about change as opposed to being the change. And again, I ain't perfect by no means, but again, for me, AV, I try to be the proof and be the change that I want to see. And that's all. If everybody tries to do that little by little, day by day, there's more power in numbers. So, to sum it all up, man, we talk about if people going to care, people going to really, you know what I mean? Cancel. You definitely hot right now, my nigga. You got to know when to say when. You got to know when to sit down. Let things cool down, because people have done way worse than you, and they are back on top. I think Kanye West deserves another opportunity, but he's hot right now. Like 50 Cent, he needs to sit down, rethink. Yeah, cool off, my nigga. Yeah, cool. He needs to sit his ass down, cool off, my nigga. And that's it. We good.
Big shout to La Foolin in the building, Byron in the building,
Peace.
Will Mello in the building. Shout to DJ Cricket. We thank you for being part of
it. Yeah.
Byron brought up something that I want to quickly touch on before we get up out of here.
I bet.
Ellen and Twitter.
Boom. Hey, you first. Listen.
I have a low-key person that's helping me out with this social media world, because I'm not the smartest with this. I'm gonna be
okay.
I'll tell you straight up, I'm not the smartest.
Yeah.
Social media work, but I'm learning, and as I'm going, I'm being successful.
Sure.
But talking to one of my guys, he just hits me up, and once that contract was signed and the deal was done, he calls me up and says, "I'm getting off of Twitter." I said, "Why?" He's like, "Cause it's just gonna be hectic. It's not being It's gonna be a war zone. It's gonna be a lot of bullshit that's gonna go down, and I just don't want to get caught up in that and get my shit even canceled or hacked. Like, if you thought people was getting hacked now, wait till you see what's about to go down." I was like, okay, You see something.
Yeah.
You see something I don't, so I'll keep my eyes out.
Yeah. Yeah. So Elon Musk, as everybody knows, he fired everybody. He fired the board. He's the sole controller at this point, and he's allowing the use of the N-word. As a matter of fact, I believe there's rumors stating, and I think it's brilliant, in order to stay verified on Twitter, you have to pay a monthly fee. And now you know Twitter, Zuckerberg, Instagram, all these niggas that own the shit, they boys. They smoke out, they chill, they go away. So imagine to get verified, Epps, you got to pay a monthly fee to keep your blue check, my nigga. Sheesh, that's smart though. That's smart, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
It is, but
that's
yeah, it's smart.
I know you don't want to pay for your blue check. You earned your blue check.
I earned my blue check. Like, I mean, I am somebody. Like, I
right.
That I am somebody. Like,
right. So I say that to say this real quick. So basically, they monopolizing everything, man. And Kanye again, saying dumb shit. If you really have a third eye, you can really see between the bullshit. There's a lot of things. If you piece them together, they're basically telling you, I could shut your bank down. I could shut you down. So now, if all your hard work apps, now you gotta pay me monthly to remind everybody of all your hard work. They wasn't there when you was carrying crates. When I was carrying crates at Fab Black Pussycat, me and DiBiase, shout out DiBiase. So all that shit, at the end of the day, you're not in control. Right. So what's the last message we should talk about? Make sure you guys know whatever you guys do, make sure you stay as much in control as possible. It starts here, and anything that you're building, just know you renting it and try to build your own shit so that way nobody could take it from you.
There you have it, man. Thank you for those words, man. I will keep my ears and eyes out for that.
Facts.
MV, man, I just want to say congratulations on your success. You know what I mean?
Working.
I don't want to use the word graduation, but at the same time, we started something, and I just want to say thank you for always being here every Tuesday. But soon, you got bigger and better things to go do. You know what I mean?
Nah. Let me say this real quick before we get up out of here. It's not bigger and better, but yeah. So basically, what Epps is alluding to, you know what I mean? For those of you guys who don't know, Epps gave me an opportunity to come on his platform to rock out with you guys every Tuesday. And, Epps and I came to the conclusion that, it's time for me to kind of spread my wings and kind of diversify. So, in the near future, Epps is going to be taking a different direction on the Tuesday show. So, but I'm going to be rocking out until he finds a replacement. I'm pulling an Angela Yee right now.
Yeah, he Angela Yee me, man. He Angela Yee.
but at the end of the day, man, I couldn't have gotten my confidence. I couldn't have gotten my notoriety without you. And just because we're not rocking out on Instagram don't mean that we're not going to be doing other things together. So
definitely.
I appreciate you, DJ Epps. We did this, and we're going to keep doing it. Keep grinding. Make sure y'all check me out on YouTube, and I'll see y'all next week, bro.
Word up, man. Everybody have a good night, and we want to thank Luis Diaz for passing through and hanging out with us this Tuesday. Everybody have a good night. Thank you, Positivity Water, and you know what I mean? Thank you, AV, Alpha Villain. Once again, thank you, Luis Diaz, passing through. Next week, we got my man Ulysses Torero going to be in the building, man. A creative producer, and trust me, man, we got a lot of things to talk about, man. So please be in the building, all right? Everybody, I want you guys to have a good night, blessed night, all right? And I'm going to be tomorrow with some friends playing some music and also talking Metaverse talk right here, live and direct for you and yours. So if you are part of the Metaverse, if you got your goggles, I suggest you, get on the live and hang out with us, and we'll talk tomorrow about a lot of things that's going to be unveiling and my residency inside the Metaverse. All right, man? So please, man, tune in tomorrow night, and we're going to have some fun. Everybody, have a good night, man. Your boy DJ Epps in the building, live and direct for you and yours, man. Please, please, please be safe out there. And I want to say protect your energy. That's what I want to say. Protect your energy. All right, man? You guys have a good night. Bless. Y'all be easy. You know what it is.